Hey up folks, good morning, welcome back to the channel, and today what I thought I'd do for you is a point by point comparison of two fantastic adventure style bikes. And these are my two bikes. On the left I have my newly restored BMW R1200 GS Adventure, and on the right my trusty 2019 Honda VFR1200X CROSSTOURER. So if you're interested in a head-to-head comparison of these two adventure bikes, then stick around. Roll that intro. So alright then, what can we say about these two bikes? 2019 Honda VFR1200X CROSSTOURER and a 2009 BMW R1200 GS Adventure. This bike I've just finished a 6-month restoration, new paint scheme, change of colour to Dakar yellow, and I've done pretty much a nuts and bolts renovation of this bike, good as new. But you could be forgiven for thinking that a comparison between an 18-month-old bike and an 11-year-old bike is not a valid one. And you'd have some justification in taking that position. However, let me sort of outline why I think actually we're not comparing apples and oranges here. Basically, this bike, the Honda VFR1200X CROSSTOURER, came out in 2012, and in that time the modifications up to the present day have been very few and far between, largely cosmetic. I think the most significant one was in 2016-17. It got this fully adjustable screen. The BMW R1200 GS Adventure, this is a Mark II. It's the last of the air-cooled single overhead cam engine versions of this bike. From 2010 onwards, before the liquid cools came in, the air-cooled engine had a twin cam. But there really the difference ended. So the 2012 version of this bike is not radically different to the one that you can see here. So it's a fair comparison. If we just sort of think for a moment that this could easily be a 2012 bike and this could easily be a 2012 bike, then I think the comparison's valid. So what I'm going to do is I've picked 7 points, and the 7 key points around an adventure motorcycle, and there'll be 7 points of commonality, and there'll be 7 points where I'll get a little bit further down into the weeds, if you like, and compare certain aspects of each machine. And I'm hoping at the conclusion of this video that I'll be able to score each of the bikes, and we'll see who comes out the winner. So let's crack on, eh? Right, so okay then, let's have a look at 7 points that both of these bikes share, and probably just about any adventure bike, particularly heavyweight adventure bikes, all tend to share with each other. So forgive me, I've got my crib notes here. First point I'd like to make really is an obvious thing that these bikes share in common. They are both adventure bikes. They're in the adventure bike style. We know what that style is as motorcyclists. It came about way back in the, let's see, 1980s, when the BMW GS range first reared its head. And since then the brand and the styles evolved over time, and probably it's fair to say that for touring, with 1 or 2 exceptions, the adventure motorcycle today is probably the default position. Some examples might be the big Honda Goldwing, but if you've got 30 grand to spare, good luck, crack on. But for general purpose touring, the adventure bike seems today to be the default position. So that's the first thing these two bikes have in common. They are both clearly, when you look at them, adventure bikes in terms of style. In terms of what specific areas they have in common, right, well, they're both big bruisers of these bikes, okay, so they're both in the 12 to 1300cc range. This one, the BMW, is a little bit less than 1200cc. This, the Honda CROSSTOURER, is a little bit more at 1237. In fact, it's nearer 1250 cc's. But it distinguishes these two bikes from the middle range and the 1000cc range of adventure bikes. So the mid-range adventure bikes, which are becoming increasingly popular, you're thinking in terms of the new KTM 890 Adventure, the new Triumph Tiger 900, you might think in terms of the Yamaha Tenere 700, and then when you get a little bit bigger, there's the Suzuki V-Strom 1050, the new one, the Kawasaki Versys, and you might even say that the Honda Africa Twin at 1100cc may sort of fall into that mid-range category, perhaps a little bit above, perhaps occupying a little bit of territory in between a mid-sized adventure bike and the full meat version, which these are. So the competition for these two bikes, really, you'll be thinking of something like the KTM 1290 Super Adventure and the Ducati Multistrada Triumph Tiger 1200. So we're in that range. So that's probably the second thing that these two bikes have in common, is similar engine size. Okay, so let's go on at the drivetrain. Both these bikes have shaft drive. So number 3 is they're both shaft driven. I did just mention the KTM Super Adventure and the Ducati Multistrada, which are of course chain driven. But we all know what the added advantages, disadvantages, pros and cons of shaft and chain drive are. But both these bikes are shaft drive. So that's number 3. Number 4, as you can see, they've both got spoked wheels, and adventure bikes which have a pretense to have some off-road capacity tend to have spoked wheels. There's a bit of a weight saving there, and there's a little bit more give for uneven terrain in spoked wheels. And on both of these bikes they are tubeless, so that the spoked arrangement is so constructed as to be outside of the bead of the tyre. So traditionally spoked wheels, but both tubeless. So that'd be number 4. Number 5, luggage capacity. The big thing with an adventure bike, adventure tourer bike, touring bikes, have got to be able to carry a substantial amount of luggage. These two bikes are no exception to that. I've added to both of them. Both of these bikes have got the Givi 58 litre top box on, massive thing. Easily carries 2 full face helmets and a fair bit more as well. So luggage carrying capacity, different styles of luggage. Obviously, as you can see on the GS Adventure, it's got the BMW what I tend to call ammo case type luggage. Here on the Honda CROSSTOURER, I've got something slightly different in terms of these aluminium finish cases. But the bottom line is both bikes well capable of carrying an awful lot of luggage for long distance touring. So that'd be number 5. Number 6, because of course both bikes have off-road pretenses, is they've both got adjustable suspension. Now obviously on the BMW it's electronic, whereas it's standard suspension on the Honda CROSSTOURER. But on the CROSSTOURER the suspension front and rear is adjustable for compression, preload, and all the adjustments that you would ordinarily associate with a bike that you might want to take on some slightly more challenging terrain, shall I say. So that'd be number 6. Adventure bikes need to have, and generally do have, adjustable suspension. And The other thing is the actual physical size of these bikes. They are both physically big bikes. Commensurate with that is they're very heavy as well, but they do have a lot of road presence, so their actual physical size gives them plenty of road presence. So those are the sort of 7 common areas that these two bikes share, and that's basically why I do think it's a valid comparison at the end of the day. So let's crack on now and have a look in a little bit more detail about where the BMW has the edge and where the Crosstourer has the edge. Okay.